In this video, I will talk about the shadow we all carry inside of us. I will explain the concept and give several examples of how my shadow controlled my life. The concept of the shadow was first introduced by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung. He described it as the hidden side of our personality, the parts we suppress, deny, or simply refuse to see. We all carry a shadow. It is everything within us that we consider undesirable: anger, jealousy, pride, selfishness, weakness. But also, surprisingly, the parts of ourselves that are powerful, creative, and confident, yet repressed. When we were children, we learned what parts of ourselves were accepted and which were not. If we were punished for being loud, we might have buried our voice. If we were told that anger was bad, we might have buried our strength. And what is buried becomes the shadow. Jung believed that the shadow doesn't disappear. It waits beneath consciousness, influencing our behavior, shaping our choices, and projecting itself onto others. Projection means that we see in others what we refuse to see in ourselves. For example, when someone dominates a room and you instantly feel irritated or small, that reaction might be a message from your shadow. I will share two examples from my own life. Number one, I used to be triggered by anyone who expressed themselves freely, whether it was anger or happiness. It made me irritated. How could they? Why could they do that when the unspoken rules were to not do so? At least that was what I thought, because I had been taught this by my parents. But that wasn't how I was. I wanted to express myself freely, but I held down this part of my shadow for years and years, until I eventually became very unhappy. Number two, during my first job after college, I had a manager who spoke his mind no matter how it might sound. He didn't care if he was right or wrong, he spoke it. I would sit next to him and be mesmerized in awe. His courage was beyond my understanding. I noticed I wanted to be around him, especially during meetings, because he expressed something that I was missing in myself, something I knew I had in me but was too afraid to express. I started to reflect upon why I was scared to express this side of myself. Because it is a perfectly normal thing to do. I realized it was connected to my childhood. My parents taught me to sit in silence and never say anything someone might interpret wrongly or as controversial. Same thing was in school: be a good kid and be quiet. If you disagree with someone, don't speak it, simply turn the other cheek. This was ingrained into who I thought I was, until I understood it and woke up. Take a moment and ask yourself, what kind of people trigger you the most? What about them triggers you? It can be literally anything. Don't hold back. This is only for you to read, and it will give you immense rewards for your own psyche. Write it down. Maybe it's a friend who always speaks up in meetings. Maybe it's a woman who expresses her sensuality freely. Maybe it's someone who is deeply at peace when you feel restless inside. Pause this video while you write down what comes to mind. All of these reactions are mirrors, showing you what you've pushed away in yourself. To find your shadow, you must be willing to look within with honesty, but without judgment. Ask yourself, what do I criticize most in others? What traits do I admire but secretly believe I could never have? What situations make me defensive, ashamed, or jealous? Every time you feel a strong emotional charge, positive or negative, your shadow might be speaking. It's not trying to hurt you. It's trying to be seen. The shadow can even appear in your dreams. It did for me. I had the same dream for years and years. It was literally a shadow coming into my room every night. It tried to tell me something, but I was too scared of it. So I woke up as if I had a nightmare every time. I was afraid of my own shadow. And I didn't even know it. I just had this feeling inside that something in my life wasn't right. I was unhappy inside. On the outside, I had a perfect life, especially in terms of materialistic items. Integration begins with awareness. Instead of running from what you dislike, turn toward it. Notice the feeling, breathe, and ask, what part of me is trying to be acknowledged right now? The goal is not to eliminate the shadow, but to integrate it, to bring light to what was hidden. Because when you own your darkness, it no longer controls you. It becomes energy, power, wholeness. The shadow is not your enemy. It is your teacher, the key to authenticity, creativity, and deep connection. So take a pen and write down. What triggers you in others? What emotions do you fear to express? And what parts of yourself are waiting to be accepted? In the end, facing your shadow is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. Remember, what you deny controls you. What you accept transforms you. This can be very scary to integrate at first, at least it was for me, because I understood that my life would change. But once I dared to, my life changed in a way that I never ever could imagine. This is the power of the shadow within you.